Hello everyone, honorable judges and respected opponents. As the opening government, our team strongly support today's motion. This House believes that schools should focus more on character building than academic results. Before I explain our argument, let me first define some key terms. School refers to educational institution where students learn and develop. Character building means the process of teaching moral value, attitude, empathy, discipline, and responsibility. Academic result refers to test score, grade, and measurable intellectual achievement. Now let's look around at our stance. We believe that education should not only prepare students for exam, but also for life. Academic success is important, but it means little if a student lacks honesty, kindness, and or perseverance. Therefore, our side believes that school should focus more on shaping good character than chasing high score. I will present two main arguments today. First argument is character building prepare students for real life. In the real world, success depends not only on knowledge but also on soft skills such as teamwork, empathy, and integrity. For example, a student who always get high grade but cannot cooperate or respect others will face many problems in their job and social life. Character education helps students learn how to face challenge, make good decisions, and contribute positively to society. According to UNESCO, the main goal of education is to be learn to be, not just learn to know. This means personal growth is more essential than memorizing information. The second argument often passes on academic results, cause stress and unhealthy competition. In many schools today, students are pressured to get perfect grades. This system often creates anxiety, burnout, and even cheating. When school only reward test scores, students forget the real purpose of learning, to grow as a person. By focus more on character, school can create a healthier environment where students learn cooperation, empathy, and self-confidence instead of just competing of number. To conclude my speech, I would like to say education is not just about producing intelligent people but good human beings. Therefore, our students strongly believe that focusing on character building is the best way for school to shape a better generation. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honorable adjudicators, respected members of the House, and my dear opponents. My name is Andini Fitria. As the first speaker of the opening opposition, I stand firmly against today's motion. This House believes that schools should focus more on character building than academic results. We, as the opposition, acknowledge that character building is essential. Yet, we firmly believe that schools should not prioritize it over academic achievement. Both must be balanced, with academic remaining the foundation of education. The primary purpose of formal education is to develop students' intellectual and cognitive abilities through structured academic learning. According to UNESCO 2023, the core mission of schooling is to provide students with the knowledge and skills necessary to succeed in higher education and workforce. If schools shift their main focus to character education, they risk producing students who are morally aware but academically underqualified to face global competition. For example, countries like South Korea and Finland successfully integrate moral values while maintaining strong academic standards, providing that intellectual development remains the key pillar of successful education. The opening government might argue that academic results are important, but that character is more important because it defines who we are as humans. However, we counter this by saying that character without competence is incomplete. A student who is honest but lacks the skills to contribute productively to society cannot fully uphold moral values in real life context. True character is tested when knowledge is applied ethically and effectively. Thus, academic and character must go hand in hand. The government also claims that focusing too much on academics can harm students' mental health. We acknowledge that academic pressure exists, but the solution is not downgrade academics. It is to reform teaching methods, reduce unnecessary pressure, and promote a healthier learning environment. Removing the academic focus entirely would only lower standards and expectations, preventing students from realizing their full potential. Research by the Journal of Education Psychology 2022 shows that students who engage in academic challenges develop stronger self-discipline, perseverance, and emotional resilience, which in turn strengthens their mental health and character. Therefore, academics are not the enemy of well-being. Rather, they can be a source of confidence and self-worth when handled correctly. Furthermore, schools are not only institutions responsible for character formation. According to a 2021 UNICEF report, 60% of a child's moral values are shaped by family and community environments. This means character building is shared responsibility, not one that schools should shoulder alone. If schools over prioritize moral lessons, they would duplicate that families are meant to do, while neglecting their essential mission of academic education. In conclusion, honorable judges, we as the opening opposition strongly believe that while character building is vital, schools must maintain academic results as their primary focus. Prioritizing character over academics risks producing morally upright yet unskilled citizens. A balanced education, one that equally nurtures intellect and integrity, creates not only good individuals but also capable, knowledgeable, and competitive members of society. Thank you.
Good evening, honorable judges, respected opponents, and everyone here. My name is Ananda and I am the Deputy Prime Minister from the opening government side. Today, I will strengthen and extend our case supporting the motion. This House believes that schools should focus more on character building than academic results. Our Prime Minister Desyafra has explained that focusing on character helps students prepare for real life and reduce stress from academic pressure. Now I will add two more arguments and also respond to possible claims for the opposition team. Some people might think that if school focus more on character, students will become lazy or less academic. But in fact, the opposite is true. Students with strong character, such as discipline, honesty, and curiosity, usually perform better academically. For example, a student who learns self-discipline will study regularly, manage time well, and complete tasks responsibly. In the word, good character is the foundation of academic success. So by emphasizing character, schools are not neglecting academics, they are strengthening them. Not every child receives moral education at home. Some parents are too busy or lack understanding of value-based education. That's why schools must take part in building good character through programs like teamwork projects, moral lessons, or social service activities. Teachers can act as role models who show fairness, empathy, and respect. If schools only focus on test results, we might produce smart individuals, but not necessarily good ones. Society needs both intelligence and integrity, and school have the power to build both. Now let's address what the opposition might say. They might argue that focusing on academics is important for national progress. We agree that academics are valuable, but without character, knowledge can be misused. Many real-world problems like corruption or dishonesty happen because people are intelligent but lack integrity. So what's the point of academic excellence if it's not guided by good moral values? That's why character building must come first. And ladies and gentlemen, let me summarize our 50 points. For the first, character building prepares students for real life. It reduces unhealthy academic pressure. It support academic success and school outlet that to build moral value. Therefore, as the opening government will probably stand by this motion, education should not only create smart minds but also good hearts. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges and member of the House, as the second speaker of opening opposition, I will strengthen our stance with deeper rebuttal and additional arguments. Let me begin by addressing the government narrative that character development prevents bullying and behavioral issues. This may be true, yet it ignores the empirical reality that many character problems originate from parenting and social influences outside school. School control only 7 to 8 hours of a student. Expecting schools to fully shape character is not only unrealistic but also inefficient. Collaboration with the families is essential, not replacement. Rebuttal 2. The government might say that academic results are stressful, narrow, and based on memorization. We agree that assessment methods need improvement. However, academic learning includes creativity, problem solving, and innovation, especially in modern education systems. If we reduce the priority of academics, these higher order skills become neglected as well. Rebellion: the proposition may argue that character education leads to better citizens, yet academic education already contributes to informed citizenship. For example, literacy enhances the ability to evaluate political information and participate in democracy. Mathematics enhances logical thinking. Science cultivates, cultivates evidence-based reasoning. Strong academics help students make ethical and rational life decisions. Uh, for the argument from our bench, academic focus has measurable outcomes. Education policies require clear indicators to improve quality. Academic results have transparent evaluation standards. Character, on the other hand, is challenging to measure. Teachers could subjectively grade character based on personal bias, creating inconsistency and injustice. Overemphasis on character programs strains educational research. Teachers already face administrative burdens and limited training. Adding character as a main focus demands new curriculum, teacher retraining, monitoring, and counseling systems. This consumes time and funds. that should be invested in essential literacy and STAM improvement. Balanced development is the real goal. Effective education models, including the OECD framework, emphasize holistic learning that combines academic excellence with well-structured value education. The government model risks imbalance by making character primary. Our side defends a model that sustains academic integrity while integrating character as reinforcement. Finally, consider the long-term consequences. The world is rapidly advancing in AI, global trade, and technological disruption. If our students graduate with strong moral but insufficient knowledge, they will be left behind. Um, Morality doesn't replace capability. Kindness doesn't replace competence. Societies need doctors who are both compassionate and highly skilled, engineers who are responsible and technically competent, pilots who are consequential and empathetically trained. Skills built by academic must come first and guide character to practice. For all these reasons, we firmly maintain that prioritizing character above academic is misguided and harmful. Schools must fulfill their educational mission to prepare students for real-world success, but, both intellectually and personally. Therefore, innovation remains for to appreciate.
Honorable Chair, esteemed judge, and members of the House. Before going to my speech, let me introduce myself. My name is Alfia Putri Madanya as the first speaker from the closing government. As the closing government, we are proud to stand in strong support of this motion, while the opening government has shown us that school today places excessive emphasis on grades and competition. Our bands extend this debate this debate by proving that prioritizing character building is not only morally right, but also building is but also the most sustainable way to achieve guide educational success and societal progress. Our extension bring to key idea the long-term societal impact and the redefinition of educational success. First, on societal impact, when schools prioritize academic results, they create individuals who may be intelligent but lack empathy, integrity, and resilience. This led to a generation of high achievers who struggle with ethical decision making and emotional well-being. In contrast, a character focused education fosters empathy, responsibility, and cooperation, which are essential for the building cohesive, inclusive, and morally grounded communities by shaping good citizen rather than more risk takers. Schools fulfill their true social mandate. Second, on redefining success on our side, believes that academic excellence should be the outcome of strong character, not the opposite. Student who Student will learn perseverance, self-discipline, and empathy are more
likely to achieve meaningful academic and personal success in the long term. Thus, focusing on character building doesn't mean neglecting academic in ensure that academic growth is supported by emotional maturity and ethical strength. Thank you.
Good evening, honorable judges, respect member of the government bench, our fellow opposition team, and everyone present here today. As this perspective of the closing opposition, a strong and against motion that schools should focus more on character building than academic results. While we acknowledge that character education is important, we believe that prioritizing is over academic will weaken the true purpose of school to provide knowledge, skill, and intellectual growth. Our claim is simple. School must keep academic as the main focus while integrating character building as a supporting component, not the other way around. Because without a strong academic, students will struggle to compete in higher education and the global workforce. According to UNESCO's 2023 report, academic proficiency remains the strong predictor of career success and social mobility. Meanwhile, Harvard Education Study 2022 found that moral tools such as honesty and empathy are more effective, effectively built at home and in society than through formal school. This proves that while character is vital, schools are not the main institution responsible for saving it. Their main role in academic education. This goal of schooling is not just to make students good people, but capable, skilled, and knowledgeable individual. If school focus too much on character, students may become morally aware but academically weak, unable to pass entrance exam or compete in the global industry. This academic and their opportunity with character and their responsibility. We cannot build a future generation with only one of them. Look at the education system in Japan and South Korea. They don't sacrifice academic for character education, but instead teach value through academic practice, teamwork in the project, honesty during exam, respect in discussion. This balance proves that academic focus can naturally foster character without having to make it the main goal. The government mindset that character focus in education produce better citizen and reduce unethical behavior. However, this is a valid dichotomy. We can teach ethic without reducing academic standard. If school emphasize character, the risks producing kind but under underqualified students, compassionate but not complement. This is not educational progress. In conclusion, we don't reject character education. We reject the imbalance this motion creates. Education must balance the mind and the heart, knowledge with the values, because character without competence limits progress, and competence without endangers power. Opposing opposition firmly believe that schools should integrate character building, not prioritize its over academic. A balanced education, not a moral centered one, is what truly prepares students for the real world. For the reasons we proudly oppose the motions. Thank you.
Good evening, honorable judges, respect opposition, and ladies and gentlemen. As the second speaker of the closing government, I stand strongly to support the motion. This House believes that schools should focus more on character building than academic results. Our team believes that education is not only about producing students who can memorize, fetch, or get high scores, but about shaping responsible, empathic, and ethical human beings who can contribute positively to society. I will strengthen our side by giving three main arguments: the importance of long-term success, social responsibility, and emotional well-being. Character determines long-term success, not just grades. Yes, academic results are important, but they only show how well students can perform is this. In real life, success depends more on soft skills such as honesty, teamwork, leadership, and perseverance. For example, a student with excellent grades but poor attitude might struggle in the workplace, while a student with average grades but strong values like discipline and respect can achieve great success. Therefore, schools should focus more on developing student character to prepare them for real challenges beyond the classroom. Character education builds a more responsible society. When schools focus only on academic, students are trained to compete, not to cooperate. They become results-oriented rather than value-oriented. But when school emphasize character, students learn empathy, tolerance, and social awareness. This helps reducing bullying, corruption, and intolerance in the future. In short, by focusing on character building, schools are not only educating individuals, but shaping better citizens for the nation. Emotional well-being supports learning itself. A healthy character includes emotional intelligence, the ability to manage stress, understand feelings, and respect others. If school only a student forgets many and are feeling anxious, depressed, or burnout, by balancing academic and character building, students will have better mental health and mature to learn. These characters of positive learning environment where students feel safe, valued, and inspired. Therefore, we in the closing government firmly believe that school should focus more on character building than academic results. Thank you, judges.
Good evening, honorable judges, respected members of the government bench, our fellow opposition team, and everyone present here today. As the second speaker of the opposition side, I'm here to strengthen our stance that schools should not focus more on character building and academic results. Instead, we believe that a balanced approach between character and academics is the most effective way to prepare students for the real world. Our main claim is that academic results remain the primary foundation of education, while character building should be integrated, not prioritized above it. Schools exist first and foremost as institutions of learning and knowledge. First, let's look at the purpose of education. Education systems around the world, from Indonesia to Finland, are designed to equip students with measurable skills and knowledge to pursue higher studies and future careers. For example, universities and employers still rely on academic records such as grades, test results, and certification to assess competence. Secondly, academic learning itself develops character. Subjects like mathematics teach discipline and problem solving, while group projects encourage teamwork and communication. This shows that academic focus naturally includes elements of character building without needing to sacrifice educational standards. If schools were to shift focus more towards character building, academic rigor would inevitably decrease. This would harm students' competitiveness in both national and global contexts. Character without competence is incomplete. Good values alone cannot help students solve real-world problems that require professional and technical skills. Research by the OECD, or Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, shows that countries with strong academic foundations tend to have better social outcomes and lower unemployment rates. This proves that academic achievement drives opportunity, and with opportunity, students can practice their moral values in society. Furthermore, character education can and should be taught through the application of academic learning, such as ethical discussion in science, honesty in exams, or teamwork in projects, not by reducing the focus on academic results. The government bench may argue that academic pressure harms mental health and limits moral growth. However, this is a matter of how education is managed, not what it focuses on. Reforming the system to promote healthy learning habits, mentorship, and emotional support is a better solution than simply lowering academic emphasis. If schools focus more on character and less on academic results, students may lack the essential qualification for university and job interest. Good character is admirable, but without skills and knowledge to contribute productively, it remains only good intention and no real impact. Therefore, we, as the opposition, firmly believe that while character education is important, it should complement and not only just overshadow academic achievement. Schools must strike a balance, nurturing both intellect and integrity, ensuring students grow into not only good people but also capable individuals. In conclusion, honorable judges, we stand with the belief that academics form the foundation upon which character can thrive. Character without knowledge is powerless, and knowledge with character is directionless. But to build both, we must not diminish the academic role of schools. Thank you.